All right, go ahead and go on to page 204. You can skip question B on page 203, and you can also skip the second activity on page 204. And we're only going to do part of activity 3. I just want to show you something real quick just to make sure you understand and can notice the patterns. But this activity says writing powers as whole numbers. Write each distance as a whole number. Which numbers do you know how to write in words? For instance, in words 10 to the third power, it is equal to 1,000. So again, I'm not going to make you do all of these, but I just wanted to just quickly do one with you so that you know. So let's look at D, where it says 10 to the seventh power meters. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that when your base number is 10, and your exponent is 7. If you do this with a calculator, and by the way, just in case you don't remember, there is a symbol on most calculators that looks like this. It's an upside down, looks like an upside down V. It's called a caret. You would do 10 caret 7, which means 10 to the power of 7. And so when I do this as repeated multiplication or expanded notation, I know that I'm going to be multiplying 10 by itself 7 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. When I write the final answer in standard notation of this number, it's going to be a 1 followed by 7 zeros. So the exponent is kind of like a little hint that tells you the number of zeros that you're going to put in your final answer. So this number would be read as 10 million meters, which is the diameter of Earth. This only works when your base is 10. Okay, so the exponent tells you the number of zeros, but only when your base number is a 10. So let's go ahead and go on now. We're going to skip over this next page and move on to the last page, page 206, and you're going to complete the whole page, even though I'm only going to go over a couple of these with you to make sure you remember all of this from 6th grade. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, you're going to write the product using exponents. I'm going to skip over 1, and I'm going to immediately go down to number 3 because it has both numbers and variables. So looking at number 3, you'll see it's 5 times 5 times negative x times negative x times negative x times negative x. The simplified version of that expression would be 5 to the second power times negative x to the fourth power. Okay? That's all you're going to do for that one. Moving down and looking at numbers 5 through 10, you're actually going to evaluate. So that means you're going to get a number for these if you can. If it's an expression like you have in number 8 and number 9 with multiple operations, make sure you follow order of operations. Also, notice in number 9 that that symbol on the outside is the absolute value symbol in case you don't remember. I want to go over number 7 before I stop the video and let you do these on your own. And the reason why I want to go over number 7 is because this one has a negative symbol, but the negative symbol is actually on the outside of the parentheses. So it's not tied to the to the 1/6. So I'm actually going to raise this fraction to the 5th power. So I'm going to do 1/6 times 1/6 times 1/6 times 1/6 times 1/6. Those 1/6 that I'm multiplying are all positive because that negative symbol is on the outside of the parentheses. So now what I'm going to do is multiply all of my numerators, basically 1 to the 5th power, which is just 1. And then using my calculator, I'm going to figure out what is 6 to the 5th power, or 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 if you don't have a scientific calculator. And I got 7,776. I need to check that because the calculator I'm using is not that great. So let me just check. 6 times 6 is 36, times another 6 is 216, times a fourth sixth is 1,296. Lastly, 7,776. Finally, this negative symbol on the outside means the opposite of that answer. So my final answer is negative. Please complete the rest on your own before moving on.